welcome. Hi, guys. How are you? You guys welcome, please. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the White House for the 2015 National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Awards. Let me begin by thanking everyone from the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities for their extraordinary leadership. The President and I are, as always, grateful for everything that you do, not just for this administration, but for the country and for young people like the ones we're honoring today. I also want to acknowledge our other sponsors and guests, the NEA, the NEH, the Institute of Museum and Library Sciences, and the Ambassador of Honduras, Ambassador Mia, who is here with us. Thank you all for joining us today. I also want to, of course, recognize all of the teachers and mentors and administrators who make these programs possible. I know that you all put in a lot of long hours and late nights, and you deal with endless phone calls and paperwork and budget meetings and kids and parents complaining and all kinds of stuff. But I also know that the payoff makes it all worth it, because you know better than anyone how the arts and humanities can transform young people's lives. And thanks to your efforts, amazing efforts, we have the pleasure of welcoming young people from every corner of our country to the White House today. We have students from all parts of the country receiving awards on behalf of programs from Savannah, Sioux Falls, Pasadena, Indianapolis, Brooklyn, and right here in Washington, D.C., and the list goes on and on and on, right? Now, I was told that at least one of our guests, 19-year-old Ibrahim Shakara of Portland, Maine. Where's Ibrahim? I read somewhere that you were a little nervous to meet me and shake my hand at the White House today. Are you really nervous now? Because, of course, we found you, we took your quote, and we thought we'd really make you nervous. But you told your local paper that these are his words, "It's a big thing." Good quotes, poetic. Well, let me tell you, Ibrahim, I think it's even a bigger thing for me to have you all here. It really is, and all the other amazing young people that are here today. This is a big deal for us, and we're proud of all of you. I always say this, but it is true. You all inspire me, and so many of us here. You inspire us with your passion, your dedication, your commitment, your beautiful smiles, because you all are gorgeous, like right out of Hollywood casting or something. All of your breathtaking achievements, you guys keep us going. And through the programs that we're honoring today, you guys have done so much. You've become published authors, award-winning photographers. You've engaged in rigorous scientific research. You've even shown off your dance moves during a halftime game of the Wizards. Yeah. I've been known to bust a move every now and then. And thousands of kids all across America are dreaming just a little bigger, and they're reaching a little higher thanks to after-school programs that you all represent. And we know that these programs don't just expose kids to the arts and humanities. They teach skills like problem solving and discipline and teamwork. And these skills aren't just important in the photo lab or on the stage. They're also critical in the classroom. They will be critical in the boardroom. And frankly, they're skills that you'll use when you wind up here one day at the White House, because I know some of you are headed here. Yes? The evidence is crystal clear. We know what arts means to kids. Kids who get involved in the arts and humanities, they have higher grades, they have higher graduation rates, they have higher college enrollment rates. We all know that. We quote these statistics every time we get together, but we don't need stats to understand the power of the arts and humanities. We don't need to read the research. All we have to do is ask the students who are with us today. take our student speaker who will be sharing his story with us later today, Andre Massey. Andre, where are you? Yeah, I got a hug from Andre earlier today. It's very nice. Andre's from the Young Author Project at Deep Center in Savannah. Andre says, and these are his words, he said, "I thought I was just going to write a few poems and maybe get a chance to read them in public. But Deep did more than that. He said it changed my life and showed me how to express myself." Or let's take Chuvian Ababakar. Where's Chuvian? Hi, honey, how are you? Welcome. I feel like I know you because I read so much about you guys. It's good to see your faces. When Chuvian arrived in South Dakota from Turkey 4 years ago, she didn't speak a word of English. She couldn't even spell her name. But when she attended the Washington Pavilion program, she got involved with the arts, and now she's chatting up a storm, we understand, as a star volunteer with the program. And finally, I think about young people like Daylon Poole. Daylon, where are you? Hey, how you doing? It's good. Daylon's from Pasadena. Not so long ago, he didn't have big dreams or big plans for his future. But then he enrolled in a photography class, and everything changed. Now he says, because of the program, he said, before I started, I didn't know I was going to college. But now there's a chance I could go. There's more than a chance, right, Daylon? You're going, right? It's not a chance. It's going to happen, right? Okay, that's good. We've got you on camera. And remember the young person I said had become a prize-winning photographer early in the speech? Well, that's Daylon. That's you. That's you. And I can report that he used the prize money to buy his first real camera. Is that true? I hope so. So I'm proud of all of you, these amazing young people and all the outstanding young people here today who can tell, who have similar stories that I could tell. And that's why we're going to keep working to promote these programs, because as I've said many times before, arts education is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's really the air many of these kids breathe. It's how we get kids excited about getting up and going to school in the morning. It's how we get them to take ownership of their future. And most importantly, it's how we get kids like Daylon to go to college. So this is real, and it's critical, and it should be something that every kid has access to. So I want to end today by once again thanking all of the adults here today for making these programs possible. And I want to thank all the young people here for working so hard and taking your education so seriously. I am proud of all of you. I'm happy you all are here. I'm excited to see everything that you'll achieve in the future, what you'll contribute to your schools, your communities, and more importantly, to our country. So thank you all again. Thank you for joining us today. And with that, it is my honor to introduce someone who is such a passionate champion for arts education, such a visionary leader on behalf of our young people, my friend, the Executive Director of the President's Committee on the Arts and the Humanities, Rachel Gosling.
Thank you, Mrs. Obama. And on behalf of your co-chairs, George Stevens Jr. and Margot Lyon, and Vice Chair Mary Schmidt-Campbell, and all the members of the President's Committee on the Arts and the Humanities, thank you once again for opening up your house to us. We, together with our partners, get to pick these extraordinary programs, but it is you that bestows upon them the highest honor in their field. It is you, and I know this because I've been here for 7 years, that hugs every single one of them. And it is you that gives these dedicated nonprofit leaders and the students that they bring with them the best day of their entire year. Speaking of years, the National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Awards are now in their 18th year, having survived 3 presidential administrations, and this committee is honored to have been the custodian of the program for the last 7 years. Since its inception, the Youth Program Awards have recognized 233 of the country's most extraordinary programs and 27 international programs. Collectively, we have awarded over $2.5 million to these deserving organizations. And while these programs are all very different, they share the same spark. They all capture and spread those intangible gifts that we want for our children: self-confidence, intellectual curiosity, unfettered imagination, academic success. And they provide these safe and creative incubators for children in some of their most vulnerable hours, after school, weekends, evenings, in areas and neighborhoods where that buffer can be the difference sometimes between making it out or not. Since 2009, with your help, Mrs. Obama, this committee has taken a strong program and made it even stronger. We renamed it, and we gave it a website and a social media presence. Hello, 21st century. We brought in new partners to extend the support that we provide the awardees throughout their year, and we have helped form a creative youth development network that supports advocacy and best practices in this work across the country. This program provides real and concrete benefits to these organizations that go far beyond even the ceremony. In a survey of 15 years of recipients a couple years ago, awardees reported overwhelmingly that they got more media attention, more funding, and higher student enrollment as a result of this award. A couple of months ago, we got an email from an organization, one of last year's awardees, a small classical music program that works with inner city kids in Boston. The director wrote that before they got this award, they were, quote, accustomed to living under a rock. And since the award, and with the additional communication support we give them over the course of the year, their organization has been featured in almost 80 print, radio, TV, and online stories. Every student in their program was featured in their hometown paper. Donations to the organization went up 30%, and their number of donors went up 60%. And this year, they had the highest level of parent participation ever, and their students got to perform at the inauguration of the new governor of Massachusetts. So all of this is due in large part to the support of the White House, and especially our key partners, the National Endowment for the Arts, the National Endowment for the Humanities, and the Institute of Museum and Library Services. We also could not do this work without our longtime cooperative partner in this program, the National Assembly of States Arts Agencies. And as well, I'd like to thank the NAM Foundation for their support of this program. And I want to take one last minute, she's never been mentioned from this podium before, to acknowledge Tracy Slater-Rigaud, who's on our team, who has been running this program for 11 years. She wakes up and goes to bed every night thinking about these organizations, and they could not have a better advocate and steward on their side. So with that, before I get too carried away thanking everybody, I would like to turn the stage over to a young man who embodies so much of why we do what we do. Andre Massey from the Deep Center in Savannah, Georgia. Thank you.
Loving the attention. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My mother and grandmother are truly my biggest fans, and I bet they're both glued to a screen right now with a giant smile on their face watching their boys speak at the White House. My grandmother always told me, Andre, there's greatness in you. But me being young and somewhat naive, I never understood what she meant. I used to think I was an average boy, or even below an average boy. Most boys went to football games and parties. I stayed home and studied for upcoming tests. I was teased relentlessly and bullied badly. I always told myself I wanted to be a graduate instead of a gangster. Then I met my English teacher, Dr. Travis. She was an amazing person, actually, and she made writing come alive. And what I mean is, she made her lessons engaging, and it urged me to come to class. I had a yearning to come to school every morning. I finally had a reason to come to school, which is actually an amazing thing. At the time, my father and I didn't have an amazing relationship. We had terrible communication issues. Every Christmas, my father was on my wish list. School wasn't a place of refuge. With its windowless rooms and mean people, my school felt more like a prison. I felt unseen and unwanted at school. I used to get in trouble a lot. I thought the way to solve my problems were with my hands, but obviously that wasn't the answer. It wasn't getting me anywhere. One day when I walked inside Dr. Travis' classroom, I wrote a story about a ninja who was secretly a princess. Something open. The next day she pulled me inside and said, Massey, your story is amazing. The wording, the detail, everything is amazing. Then she told me about an after-school creative writing program called Deep. But I wasn't sure I like after-school writing program. Like, why would I say after school to do more work? Come on, ready to go. But I went to the first class, and I noticed something different. It was something I was missing. So I continued in the class, and the writing mentors, Melanie and Brad, were so caring and so real, and I had finally found a room where I felt accepted. Deep encouraged me to write about things that were important to me, like my family. If I thought something I wrote was terrible, Melanie and Brad showed me how unique my piece was, and they urged me to keep yearning, keep working, which is an amazing thing. Brad taught me that it's okay to write poetry, and that I can even be a poet. So I looked at him sideways, like, me, a poet? Not gonna happen. No, I wanna be a doctor, not a poet. And then Melanie is also a poet herself, and her work has inspired mine. And indeed, we can write about anything. So I wrote about the anger I felt towards my father, how I felt neglected and unwanted by him, and how I wanted something more. I never planned on the poem being published. I just needed a way to heal my heart. The Deep kids elected me to read my poem, Father, at Deep Speaks, a poetry reading in front of 500 people. And Melanie, by the way, is like a coconut. Hard on the inside, hard on the outside, actually, yet soft and sweet on the inside. I had to revise the poem and fix it before it could get published and before I could read it, but I was being resentful because I didn't want the poem to get published anyway. But her being who she was, it got out there anyway. And I worked my butt off, and I got it. The poem was actually hard for my father to hear, and it starts like this. Laugh and cry, soon to die. Tears fall with fear for us all. A father forever, but were you there? Never. It was hard for actually the both of us here, and for me to be the person that wrote it, I was shocked. And that experience has really changed the both of our lives. I actually found out that my father was there for me the whole time, and we have become closer than ever. Even clean up with our little handshake, text him. That's my best friend. I couldn't ask for a better best friend, and especially a better father. So thank you, Dad, for loving me and being here with me today. Since Deep, my poems have been published in 2 books, actually. My life isn't easy, but look at me now. The First Lady just announced that I gave her a hug. Wow. Hey. So, thank you, Mom, Dad, there, Melanie, Brad, oh, Grandma, you too, didn't forget about you. Thank you for bringing me this far. And ladies and gentlemen, First Lady Michelle Obama, thank you for this opportunity. It has been an amazing thing, and it has really changed my life. And more than that, I am a poet, and I finally know where I fit in. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of the 2015 National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Awards.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Andre, for that extraordinary beginning to this wonderfully important ceremony. I'm William Adams, the chairman of the National Endowment for the Humanities, and I'm pleased to introduce our first awardee. It goes to the Center for Urban Pedagogy's Urban Investigations, an after-school program that gives more than 60 New York public high school students each year the tools to investigate their world, communicate their ideas, and become active participants in their communities. Students use research and collaborative design to explore specific issues in their cities with access to civic leaders and decision makers. The program results in inspired youth and student projects that have real impact on communities. Congratulations. The Deep Center's Young Author Project serves some of Savannah's most challenged public middle schools. Young authors work with local adult writers to read and analyze literature. And to draft poems and stories. Each semester, a student's best writing is published in a professional anthology circulated in the public libraries. Last year, nearly 100% of program participants demonstrated improved writing skills, and they performed better on average than their district peers on standardized tests. Congratulations. Young Writers and Leaders is an after-school literary arts program for the community of teenage refugee and immigrant English language learners in Portland, Maine. Which, by the way, is my hometown. The program provides one-on-one tutoring in the humanities, arts, and mentoring, and makes a measurable impact on students' confidence, emotional and social well-being, and literacy skills. To date, all of the seniors who have participated in Young Writers and Leaders have gone on to graduate from high school and enroll in college. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I'm Jane Chu, Chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts, and our first awardee is Act 2 of Rosie's Theater Kids. This is a year-round scholarship program. This scholarship initiative provided free of charge to students from lower-income New York City public schools, and the program engages youth in professional theater training in voice and music, dance and drama, and it's enhanced by comprehensive academic assistance and social services. The theater has graduated 100% of its first 4 classes of high school seniors, all of whom have been accepted to colleges or universities. Congratulations. mixes urban artisans. This is an Indianapolis internship program, and it's about teaching high school students with physical and developmental challenges transferable vocational skills through creating, marketing, and selling artwork. There are student interns, and they work as a team to create products in art mediums such as clay and fiber, paint, glass mosaics, and they're working in a professional studio, and the students not only become skilled artists, but they also learn skills that help them fulfill job responsibilities in the community at large. Congratulations. And finally, Caldera's Youth Mentoring Program. Their mission is to be a catalyst for underserved youth through innovative, year-round art and environmental programs, and every year, middle school and high school students throughout Portland, Oregon are mentored while they're learning to work in a variety of arts disciplines, including dance and music, theater, creative writing, photography, and media arts. And in 2014, 100% of the program's 8th graders transitioned to the 9th grade, and approximately 90% of the students also graduated from high school. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I'm Kit Matthew, Director of the Institute of Museum and Library Services, and my first awardee is Art High, a major initiative of the Armory Center for the Arts that makes after-school visual and media arts education experiences and mentorship readily accessible. Located in Pasadena, California, each year Art High offers free instruction in visual and media arts to over 700 teens in order to advance transferable 21st century skills, and a number of alumni come back to be employed as teaching assistants, which is fabulous. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have the Ogden Museum of Southern Arts Teen Docent Program that reaches New Orleans area young people. Students in the program learn about the exhibits, present tours, and create and implement community outreach. Through these activities, the docents share their talents and knowledge of the community with the community and contribute to New Orleans' vibrant cultural scene. 100% of surveyed students increase their comfort and knowledge in public speaking and leadership. Congratulations. And finally, the Washington Pavilion of Arts and Science is the only institution in the nation to have 2 accredited museums under one roof, which is pretty amazing. Every year, its Action Arts and Science program offers high-quality, challenging arts and science-related experiences to thousands of youth in the Sioux Falls community. Each week, Action Arts and Science program's team of arts and science professionals offers 25 hours of programming. That's every week, spread over 21 sites across the city. Congratulations.
We're going to keep going until we run out of hugs. City Dance Dream is a free after-school program for students throughout Washington, D.C., using dance to teach students to become advocates for their own lives and for their communities. At City Dance Dream, instruction, performances, and community service projects enable young people to find a pathway through elementary school, middle school, and high school. They are doing this with great success. City Dance Dream. The Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra is in its 59th season. It has become one of the largest institutions of its kind, training 1,000 students each season. Progressions is a cornerstone of the orchestra's community partnership programs. It's a high-intensity string program for 3rd and 4th graders. Each child receives a string instrument and 270 minutes of instruction each week, all of them aspiring to artistic excellence. The Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra. Definition: skyhop, it's a verb that describes the act in which a dolphin rises above the water in order to navigate. Skyhop Productions offers young people throughout Salt Lake City world-class education in radio, film, music, and design. Through mentoring and hands-on experience, Skyhop fosters personal and artistic expression. 86% of Skyhop students go on to college, and more than 40% of its alums work in the media. Skyhop is changing the way young people see themselves.
Well, last word, but certainly not least, I'm Margot Lyon, co-chair of the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities, and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to present our International Spotlight Award. I'd like to invite our distinguished guest, Ambassador Jorge Milla-Reyes, to join us. In the presentation of this award. Each year, we present our International Spotlight Award to one exceptional program from another country. This year, we are proud to recognize the Organization for Youth Empowerment's My Voice is Power program from Honduras. Honduras's rich heritage reflects the country's deep artistic and cultural roots. As one of the most advanced indigenous tribes, the Mayans have left a remarkable archaeological legacy. Pre-Columbian influences are evident in Indian crafts, while art and architecture recall the Spanish colonial period. We are grateful to the U.S. Department of State, Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs, and the Inter-American Foundation for their assistance in selecting and supporting this year's International Spotlight Award winner. And so, in honor of this program and the young people who embody the hope and promises of Honduras, we are pleased to present the International Spotlight Award to My Voice is Power. A program of the Organization for Youth Empowerment. This program reaches over 200 young people in the city of El Progreso each year with dynamic and engaging classes in everything from photography to public murals to radio and print journalism. Through this program, young people develop into leaders who inspire positive change in their homes, in their schools, and throughout their communities. Congratulations. Okay, next I would like to invite our performers from Act 2, based in New York City.
lights will inspire you. Let's hear it for New York, New York, New York. One hand in the air for the big city. Street lights, big dreams, all looking pretty. No place in the world that can compare. Put your light up in the air, everybody say yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We're in New York. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York. The streets will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Let's hear it for New York, New York, New York. I feel the earth under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble in. Whenever you're around, oh baby, one fine day will be. I got my love, could ask for anything more. I got DC's way, I got my love, could ask for anything more. I got starlight, I got sweet dreams, I got my love, who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything? Who could ask for anything more?
Wow, 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 wow. I met these guys backstage and they were all like, yeah, we sing. Yeah, that wasn't singing, that was singing. We just did Broadway at the White House last night and had some of the top Broadway productions here, right here in this room, and you guys will be on Broadway. You guys are the next generation. It's amazing. And I know I say that at the end of all of these shows because there's so much talent in this country. There are millions of kids like these with talent all over the place, and it is hidden and it's untapped. And that's why these programs are so important, because we wouldn't know that all this existed without many of these programs. And that would be a shame. That would be a loss. It would be a travesty. So we have to keep funding these programs. We have to keep shining a light on them. We have to keep encouraging these kids because they are the next generation of fabulous. So thank you all. Thank you for what you do. You guys make my day, my year, and I get all these hugs on top of it. You guys blew it out of the park. Thank you. Another round of applause for Act 2. You all, thank you so much. Thank you. To the PCAH, all my crew. Job well done. I'm going to depart, but we have a wonderful reception awaiting you all. Please stay and enjoy, have fun. There'll be cookies. So you guys, please stay as long as you like, or at least until the social office kicks you out. Thank you again. Hope to see you again next year. One more year? Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you so much.